It's a great city. There's tons of stuff to do there, and I love my homestay.
Belgrade has more, it's a bigger city. It has more of a big city mentality. It's very urban. It was really good in terms of the breadth of issues it covered and all the places that we went. It gave you a good feel because we didn't just stay in Pristina, because Kosovo isn't just Pristina, and like people will say about Bosnia, where we went afterwards, Bosnia isn't just Sarajevo, so it was great that we got to be in the RS and we got to be in the Federation. And we did very urban, we did more rural, so that was really, really interesting, and it was nice that we had local coordinators who were able to tailor our schedule and what we did around that, and we had really fantastic lectures, especially in Sarajevo.
Bosnia is just beautiful, first of all. I mean, as soon as you cross the border, it's just wow, especially being from Illinois and somewhere flat. It's just, there's mountains everywhere and rivers.
I had never been in like a position where you had a month of just time that you schedule yourself with. You have the goal of turning in an ISP by the end, but you arrange your interviews, you decide how to organize your data, your schedule for writing. And I'd written papers and done research like this before in school, but always with other stuff going on. I never had a month to dedicate to a project on this scale.
I think ISP really presents an opportunity for you to shape the program to your interests.
Some of the interviews that I had, especially with local Kosovo Albanian teachers, were the highlight of my ISP experience. I was talking to one about his career as a teacher, and he was explaining how he'd been teaching in school since 1974, except for the 10 years he was in political prison, and then went on a little side story about that and how he'll continue to resist regimes and dictatorships through his teaching style, and just how empowering it was to come away from that and realize that no matter what career opportunity you choose in life, even if it's just being a teacher, you have a great power and great influence that you can have over the way people think.
I think the strongest point is definitely the opportunity that you have to go off on your own and really try to figure stuff out on your own. There's support there if you want it. I chose probably to use a little bit less support than was available because I wanted to sort of work through the things on my own, and that was a really good growing experience.
Closest person I got to in my homestay family was my homestay mother, Jadranka. And she was like my mom, but Serbian.
I think I had a really good experience because even though we maybe didn't agree on certain things, talking about like maybe political or social things, I mean, in general we agreed on things, but we would still talk about them, and it would be a conversation. It wouldn't be sort of one person having their idea and sort of taking it away. And so I think, if anything, I definitely learned a lot from them.
I think it's really important to have also people that you can talk to about things that are going on and to ask questions to. Because I know there were things that I needed to ask someone and I didn't really know who to ask without offending anyone. And my host sisters, I know that I could ask questions and it not be weird. And also just language practice.
Working with the language, so in a way it is almost like a class because your host family can become sort of an extension of the language course, helping you learn.
The scope of readings and materials that are available on SIT is absolutely fantastic.
I think another strength of academically was the range of lectures we had.
Although I've always been told in classes that there is no absolute truth, that there absolutely is no absolute truth. Because there's 1,000 different stories, and you can't even just break it down into what one side thought and what the other side thought, but that within that there's a plethora of opinions, and recognizing that and recognizing how to make a judgment in the end from that was what I came away academically most.
Language class was great. Honestly, it was the best language class I've ever had, and I took German in high school and in college. And one thing I have learned from taking language classes for so long is you can tell when you have a language teacher who is very interested in and knowledgeable about language acquisition. So people who have kind of studied that, it really shows because they make the best language teachers, in my experience. The language class is really, really helpful. We learned a lot, like it's kind of compressed. It would have been almost nice to have had more time for language class, but still really amazed by how much I learned that quickly.
The biggest part about language was having the initiative to practice a lot at home.
I wanted to do a field studies-based program because SIT works with local people who know the country and know what's great to do and what's important to learn.
Peace and conflict studies is something that I could see myself doing in the future, or something similar to that. So I started looking through my school's study abroad website. SIT was one of them, and as soon as I saw that there was a peace and conflict section, I immediately began looking.
I guess no one in my hometown, which is a small town in central Massachusetts, really knows much where Serbia is, let alone knows maybe what's happened in the last 20 years. And I guess I definitely look forward to going home and trying to tell more people, so that when they ask me, why would you go to Serbia? Well, why wouldn't you want to go to Serbia? And
I chose the Balkans because the Balkans had been my area of study since my sophomore fall, when I first became interested in the Balkan Wars.
The idea of an independent study project was also really, really key because it was something new. It's not something that, as an undergrad, you get the opportunity to do very often, particularly when it's in a country outside of the U.S.
I think the only thing I would tell someone else is to speak more Serbian. I think I didn't try hard enough, and that I wish I had made more people speak to me.
It's mentally straining because the issues that you're dealing with are extremely, extremely heavy and relatively recent, and you're going to talk to people who actually experience these things.
First, I'd tell them to look at what they're studying in school to see if they have any background knowledge on the area, because it's important to know the academic context of what you're going into here. I knew, but I don't think I knew it as well as I should have.
Follow your interests. If you're passionate about something, if a region interests you, if the subject interests you, do it. I mean, study abroad doesn't have to be, I think it should be in a way different from anything you could do at your home university.